It's important. I want to actually talk about it, so... okay, Dragon. That's fine. Okay, this is the right one. Good. Yeah, I want to see the full one. I don't want to see a shorter edit one. I want to see the full one. So let's jump in. Let's do it. Let's jump into this and see what in detail. We know the broad strokes of that he has uncovered massive fraud with this, but let's take a look at it in full. So buckle up and let's go.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. What do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
What was this money spent on? 1.26 million. What was that money spent on? There aren't any kids.
Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
Potentially the largest fraud scandal in U.S. history is taking place in Minnesota, as literally billions of dollars have been funneled through Somali-ran fraudulent businesses. So much fraud.
They heard it. Yeah. These were the ones that we knew about first, beforehand. This is what we'd heard before. Meal programs, housing, and the behavioral health services, meaning autism. This is what we heard about before. And it's all getting funneled back to Somalia, supporting warlords, terrorists, and pirates. And this I think is going to be the tip of the iceberg. I would just think that we like this and Nick Shirley's video about the child care. I think this is all the tip of the iceberg, and I think it's going to actually get even worse than this.
It could actually almost replace the entire GDP of Somalia. These fraudsters have worked hand in hand with the Minnesota government as they enabled billions of dollars to be given to fraudulent businesses underneath welfare purposes. Some of this money eventually landed in the hands of terrorist groups in Somalia like the Al-Shabaab, and others enriched themselves all at the U.S. taxpayers' expense. And in this video we will break down all of the fraud from start to finish, from going to the fraudulent businesses and confronting the people who are making millions of dollars from the government. And we will also be confronting the incompetent government leaders who let this fraud happen. And to make this happen, I met up with a man who's been doing his own investigation for years now, as he has seen the fraud firsthand. His name is David. Let's get into this and be prepared to be shocked. How deep is this fraud here inside of Minnesota?
It is far worse than anybody can imagine. You heard it's 7 to 10 billion and maybe more, and now the numbers have been revised and put out there publicly that they think it's more like 8 billion. How I got involved is that where my office is here in Minneapolis, I'm sort of in the heart of all of this fraud, and I would see these child care centers. I said, well, there aren't any kids there. It's the middle of the day, and all I see are a couple of guys standing out front smoking. And then I'd go by another daycare and I'd see the same thing. I said, well,
oh, fuck. You know where my brain just went? You realize where my brain just went here. Not only is it potentially a money laundering scheme, what if they're laundering something else? What if they are moving guns? What if they are moving drugs? What if they are moving people? Taniro, that's where I was going. What better because let's be realistic here. Somalia is not exactly known for treating children well. What better place to literally traffic children to a shithole of a country like Somalia that literally destroys children than a child daycare center? Where if you see kids in there that are getting trafficked, you would think nothing of it because it's a daycare center. What are the chances that these quote-unquote daycare centers...
ICE raided more than a dozen of these locations today, according to reports I saw earlier today.
Not surprising. Yeah, it's... That's a scary thought. That's a scary thought, that it's not simply money laundering that is happening here.
Where do these kids play? And so I started to go online and look, and I said, this place is licensed for 80 children. They had 0 children. Every time I went by there, they never had a single child there. Then I started to see all these transportation companies going around, and it was always a Somali driver. And I said, well, that's great. They're out there transportation, contributing, but they never had a passenger, never, ever once. And I said, well, what is all this transportation? What are they doing? So then I found out that in Minnesota, they have something called non-emergency medical transportation. So this is going to the dentist's office, therapy, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And I said, well, how many of these companies are there? And the research came back that there are 1,020 of them, and more than 800 of them are Somali-owned. Nobody from the state of Minnesota ever cross-checks to see if any rides were ever actually provided. All they did was write the check.
So right here we have all this paperwork. And how are you getting all this information about the fraud?
A lot of it is through my own research, and then I have some contacts at the Capitol going back many years.
Thank you,
and
Dragon.
So the data that I'm getting is 100% accurate, coming directly from research done by people at the state Capitol.
All this paperwork right here, what are we looking at?
The areas of fraud that I have numbers for are mostly related to childcare. This is massive fraud that is beyond anyone's imagination, the scope. And so, for example, there's a childcare not far from here in Minneapolis that has two childcares listed at the same address. And together, they're licensed supposedly for 120 children. I have never seen a single child there ever, and I've been by that place at least 100 times.
These Somalians, these groups are setting up these daycares, these childcare centers, getting money from the government, but there's no kids.
No kids. Never at any of them.
They're
all fraught with violations, and even though they have these violations, they're still in operation and they're still getting money. And it's
oh God. So we're basically starting a corruption from the bottom and going right up to the top. Because not only is he saying that we're looking at corruption on a local level, where the inspectors are not shutting them down. If these places are fraught with violations, then the inspectors that would be part of basically, inspecting them and basically violating them if there's a violation, they're not doing their job. The superiors that we're responsible for forwarding this paperwork through and making sure that proper shutdown procedures were done if they're in violation, they're not doing their job. The government, if the paperwork is getting sent to the government, at least on a local level, because I'm guessing this paperwork may possibly go to a local. I'm not sure if these violations would go through a local city level government before it goes up to the state level, or if it bypasses the local and goes straight to the state. Either way, you have officials there that are getting this paper that are either not receiving the paperwork at all, or not even requesting the paperwork, or if they get the paperwork, they're looking and going, okay, yeah, file it under G. And they're letting it go. So how much are these government officials getting kickbacks? That's the question, because they're defrauding the state of literally billions of dollars. So we need to do a forensic accounting of every single government official of Minnesota. Basically the FBI needs to unleash their forensic accountants on the state of Minnesota and go through the books of literally every person in government in the state of Minnesota on down to the local inspectors. Because I will guarantee you, they are getting kickbacks, and that's why they're allowing all of this.
Millions of dollars for every one of them every year.
And who's getting the money? And where are they getting the money from?
So we have a thing called CCAP. It's a blend of federal and state money. The bottom line is it's taxpayer money, so it's state money and it's federal money. And the problem is the people at the state of Minnesota are the ones writing the checks. This is kind of the maddening thing is you have daycare, so you have adult daycare, and then you have child care, and then you have health care. And a lot of these same names keep coming up on all of these different types of businesses.
And
then,
no
of course, we
one's
have the
doing anything.
transportation, and a lot of those same names appear, a lot of the same addresses.
Oh, and what do you want to bet? They're all shell companies. All of these businesses, they says, that are a part of this, The child daycare, the transportation companies, the healthcare, the adult daycare. What do you want to bet? Just a little they get bit at taking, and they're all shell companies. And they're all getting funneled back to terrorist organizations or, warlords or something. And the government officials are getting kickbacks for all the time for it.
There's one building.
Yes, Mike, effectively, yes.
Has
unwillingly, but yes.
Somali healthcare companies at the same address. There's another building in St. Paul that has 22 Somali healthcare businesses at the same address.
And the government knows about this.
The government knows, they're writing the checks. Yeah, the Democrats over there just writing the checks. What has happened is that the Somali community is a very closed community. They will not speak to anyone outside the community and talk about what's going on within the community. They vote as a block. And so when you're a
No. He's using incorrect terminology there. They don't vote as a block. They vote as a tribe. Because whether you like it or not, the Somali people work off of tribalism. Literally. They literally work off of tribalism. That is their communities. They are literally tribes. This is not hyperbole in terms of verbiage. That is how they operate from basically where they came from. Their home nation is their social groups. They're not towns, they're not cities, they are literally tribes. And that is how they operate. They come from Somalia, they come into the US, and they maintain those tribes. And they will not speak outside of those tribes or clans, and they actually hate one another. That's how that Minneapolis mayor won, is he basically conned the tribes and clans to say, hey, I'm one of you, because they actually hate one another, but he was able to trick them into all voting for him, acting like I'm going to work for your specific tribe, your specific clan. And so they will not talk to anybody because realistically, they're fucking racist to one another, just in terms of like a different tribe or a different clan. That's what it is. That is how these people think.
Politician, you're saying, look, I've got 100,000 people in Minnesota that if I do something for the community, they're going to vote for me. And that's what it's all about, is getting the votes. And then the people here in Minnesota, you hear this term, Minnesota nice. I'm so sick of that term. The people here are so afraid of being called a racist or an Islamophobe.
Yep.
And they're afraid of their own shadow. And I don't understand. This is our future generations are going to have to pay for all this fraud. And they just want to bury their heads in the sand and go on and just not worry about it. Tim Walz.
Well, and it's because, and I think this may be starting to go away, that people are so worried about, they're so worried about being labeled as a racist. That's losing its power. Being called a racist, being called an Islamophobe, which is a made-up word, by the way, it doesn't exist. That being called like a racist, a fascist, a Nazi, an Islamophobe, etc., because you disagree with someone, that's lost its power. Nobody fucking cares anymore if you get called a racist, an Islamophobe, a Nazi, a fascist, a homophobe, a misogynist. Nobody cares. The SJAs have lost their power. They can, and in fact, they've actually reverse carded themselves. Because now, when you have these people calling someone racist, the istophobe, or whatever, they've overused the shit out of it so much that now by calling someone that, they have actually telegraphed that they're afraid of you because you're actually telling the truth. You're actually spilling the spaghetti out of their pocket. That's what it has turned into. They've taken the words, they've taken the words of, they have effectively destroyed these words of power. Like, once upon a time, using these words of power actually meant something and people sat up and paid attention. Now, it's literally become, it's not even become, you disagree with me, so I'm going to call you an istophobe or a Nazi or a fascist. Now it's turned into, I'm terrified that you're exposing me with facts and logic and truth, so I'm going to call you an istophobe or whatever to try and paint you as a target for people that think like me to attack and kill. That's what it has turned into. So now people are people that actually believe in fact and reason and logic and reality are no longer scared of being called the istophobe stuff because they know it's just basically like it's basically like the dog that is barking like crazy behind a fence like it wants to kill you, and then when you open up the fence the dog immediately just ducks his head and doesn't do anything. That's what calling someone, the whole istophobia thing has become. It's the barking dog behind the fence, and the moment you open the fence, the dog just kind of slowly puts his head down and starts whimpering. Nobody cares anymore. And it's actually become a symbol of, oh, I'm going to say something, you're going to call me an istophobe. You basically just telegraph that I'm right. And you're only doing this because you're scared about the fact that I'm right.
Saying there's organized crime in Minnesota. What did he do about it? Nothing. You got organized crime? What are you doing? This is the Minnesota law which mandates that anyone who knows of fraud and is a state employee must report that fraud. It's Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. Not only that, but Walz is also guilty of misconduct of a public employee. When I look at the world as a whole and I look at fraud, the Twin Cities is ground zero. The fraud is worse here than anywhere else ever in history. Anywhere.
We're going to go.
No. Socialist? No. I have a better one for you. I've said this forever. If someone ever calls you an istophobe, when you make an argument and they counter with istophobe, literally just look at them and go, I win, and walk away. Because you did. That the fact that their counter argument to you posing facts and logic to someone is to call you an istophobe, you've literally just won the argument. So you just tell them, I win, and walk away.
Confront these people. We're going to go to these daycare centers. We're going to see what's actually happening.
Okay, so we have to be careful because these people are very
Taffy? Oh, yeah.
violent. They're exceptionally violent.
Now, with all of David's evidence, we headed out to the streets of Minneapolis to see how much fraud we could uncover in one
Here we go.
afternoon.
Where are we going now?
We're going to a place called Mako Child Care, which actually has another child care registered at the same address called Mini Child Care Center.
So we should see
Oh,
lots
God.
of children if there's
And by the way, notice that mini child care, no owner listed with the state of Minnesota. This is a child care with no listed owner.
Mini Child Care Center.
So we should see lots of children if there's this child care center, especially if there's two.
The two of them combined are licensed for 120.
And how much money have these child care centers received?
None of those vans have moved in 6 months. None of them. In
Hi.
2020, one of them received 1.3 million. In 2021, they got 987,000. In
Why?
2022, they got 714,000. That's the last I
Holy
have for that
fuck.
one. And then the other.
So this is dating back to 2020, and in 3 years, they stole $3 million from the state of Minnesota. In 3 years. And this is only dating up to 2022. So you can bet that they've been stealing at least another $1 million every year since. So this single daycare has likely stolen at minimum $5 million, probably closer to $8 million. I would say at a rough guess, it's probably close to it would probably be closer to $8 million that they stole from Minnesota in the last 5 years.
Other one, 1.604 million in fiscal year 2025.
Oh, there it is.
Fiscal year 2024. They
Yep.
got
So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Round it up. Yeah. So 7 million. I was close. I said 8. It's actually probably closer to 7 million.
about 800,000, and in fiscal year 2023, they got $904,059. This place right here. Yes.
We're outside of it.
Well, this is actually
Five-
two daycares
five two.
are registered here.
5.2.
One of them is Mako, which you see on this sign. The other one is Mini Child Care Center. And between the two of these child care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year. And there are no children. Every facility as you go to, the windows will be blocked out so you can't see in. There's nobody here. You won't see a single child at any of these facilities.
There are indeed no windows. All the windows are blacked out right here. All right.
Yes, because when you're running a child daycare, the one thing you want to make sure is that there's no sunlight in the daycare. That's that's absolutely what you want in a fucking child daycare is no sunlight whatsoever.
Let's go in. And the child care center is locked. Should we ring the doorbell? Yeah. Try to get in, rang the doorbell. Nobody showed up. They're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. it says here on their sign, yet there's absolutely nobody here. And this building here, right here, has generated millions of dollars. And
Wow. Yeah, like, again, what I said earlier, the windows are all blacked out. What are the chances that they're trafficking more than money through these businesses? Like, that needs to be looked at. With something like this, they could easily be moving guns, they could be moving drugs, they could be literally trafficking people like kids through here. That is a legit possibility, given the fact that this is Somalia, and they are known for basically the country of Somalia is known for child slave labor, child SA. It is known in that country that they will take brides of the age of like 6. It's fucking horrifying. As someone mentioned, they only just outlawed the crime of rape like 5 years ago in Somalia. Only 5 years ago, it actually became illegal to sexually assault a woman in Somalia. And they also made it a major deal that they have one single female officer on their department. One. And they made a massive fucking deal about this. It's like, thinking about it for 5 seconds, it is legitimately terrifying what could potentially be being done behind these blacked out windows that people can't see through. It is fucking terrifying.
it seems like business isn't even open right now, and it's a weekday. And if this was a daycare center, it wouldn't just be in some industrialized building. There would be maybe like a playground or something outside, or...
There's no play area for the kids. So where are the kids? Where's anybody? How can there?
And then this is the other one. So you've got the one. Wait, is this the same? No, that's okay. No, that's the make one. This one they were just at.
Nobody here, and it's like this every single day. I've never seen a single child here. In 9 years, I've never seen a single child at this building. Right there.
Oh, then now it looks like we already got the Somalis coming through.
Yeah, they're coming. The word's out.
Yup, they
is this
flood
your
in.
daycare?
No, can you tell us why there are no children? Have you ever seen children at this child care center?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Doesn't know if she's ever seen a child here.
Uh-huh.
All right, let's go to the next location. And the fraud only...
Like I've seen where was it? Was it? I'm trying to think if it was him, if it was Nick Shirley, or if it was another YouTuber, who basically did a story in Minnesota, might have been Minneapolis, and he came in there. It was wait. I cannot remember who it was. Somebody came in to basically explore what's going on with like the Somalian community in Minnesota, and none of them would talk to him. Absolutely none of them would talk to him. All of them, was it Tyler Oliveira? I could not remember if it was Tyler Oliveira or not. I didn't want to say it was him and because it was a little while that I saw it, so I couldn't remember. Yeah, Tyler Oliveira came through. I think it might have been Minneapolis. I don't recall exactly. And when he tried to talk to the citizens, practically no one would talk to him. And he did not go in there with like a hard agenda. He was very pleasant with the people that he did talk to. He spoke with them very candidly, very pleasantly, with no bent, just asking them very simple questions. But the majority of the population refused to talk to him. A lot of them would say, I speak French. And he would speak to them in French and they still would not talk to him. They would just they would pointedly ignore him and keep walking. They do not like outsiders coming in and exploring what is happening. Even if they talk, even if the outsiders are like talking to them very politely, very candidly, not actually like poking at them or anything like that, they do not want outsiders coming in and seeing what is going on. Scary guy, that was not in the same area. That's not the same thing. I know what you're talking about, I think. Wait. No. Okay, I think you're mixing up two things. Yes, I do think someone came at Tyler Oliveira potentially with a weapon. That was one thing. He dove into the car and took off. There was another instance, and I think this might have been someone different that was doing a preemptive check on a town where there was no, it was not Paris. No Shy Guy. This was in Minnesota. There was another one where it was I know what you're talking about. There was another YouTuber who basically, it was just before that big protest. It was granted that it was the one guy who did, like, I think he may have had some people that did like a protest march on basically how, like, in something involving the Islamic population of the town. And he was going to be facilitating a protest. And this YouTuber came out the night before to basically get like some B-roll at night. And when he did, they had like or was it, yes, you're right, scary guy. You're right. I'm mixing up Minnesota. You're right. It was in Dearborn. That was in Dearborn where they came out at night prior to the protest, and the Islamic community basically had drones following them, and people came out of the woodwork. And I'm sorry, my mistake. I'm mixing up locations. That was Dearborn, Michigan, and that's probably what you're thinking of too when you were talking about the drones. That was the Dearborn protest that occurred, not here in Minnesota. But Tyler Oliveira did come out here and just do an interview, tried to interview people in Minnesota, like in the Muslim communities, and no one would want to talk to him. He was able to talk to a couple of people, but most people like pointedly ignored him or said, no, I don't speak English, and they would not talk to him because they do not want people coming into these areas, even casually, and potentially exposing them and exposing what's happening.
Gets more from here. Make sure you stay till the very end of this video to see exactly how much fraud we find by the time we are done. And before we go to the next location, I want to show you something super interesting.
Cheesy, I don't remember, honestly.
And here in Minnesota, if you
wait, what? Whoa, hold up.
Exactly how much fraud we find by the time we are done. And before we go to the next location, I want to show you something super interesting about the flags of Minnesota.
This is what they're looking to change the Minnesota flag to. They're literally talking about changing the Minnesota flag, and they removed the state crest, and they changed it to look more Somalia. Yeah, changed past tense. It's already done. They literally took the state crest off of the state flag, and Minnesota is lost. So Minnesota as a state is lost. Minnesota is now Little Somalia. Wow. That's terrifying. That's what this is. We are literally witnessing an invasion of states within the U.S. This is literally an invasion. You are seeing a foreign nation taking over parts of America. That's the only way to look at this. The only way to look at this is that Somalia, the country of Somalia, has invaded and taken over the state of Minnesota.
And here in Minnesota, if you take a look at the Minnesota state flag, they recently changed it, and it very much so resembles the flag of Somalia.
And really quick, I want to tell you guys about the sponsor of this video, Opus Clip. What used to just be an AI
Bad
clipper
time.
has now become the most powerful AI
Although
growth
he's
tool
probably
for
gonna,
creators.
although he's
Right
probably
now,
gonna
over
be
10
getting so
million
much
creators
ad
and
revenue from
businesses
this
have
video
used
popping
Opus
off.
Clip
He may
to help
not
them
have to
gain
do
over
sponsors
60
anymore.
billion views. I've used Opus, and I've even had my friends use it, and it helped my one friend with nearly just 100 followers get a video up to 30,000 views. And it's super simple to use. All you do is you upload a video or copy a YouTube link, and Opus will do the rest, and it'll
Like,
come out
there
with
needs to be a
tons of
federal
viral
investigation
shorts for you then to choose
into
from.
the government
And
of
Opus just came
Minnesota.
out their new AI editor 3.0 that comes with smarter
They're
auto-framing, better
literally
virality scoring, and new captions. And I've said it before, but Opus
Fisheezy?
is
Okay, hang on. Fisheezy? Hard disagree. Absolutely hard disagree. With the state flag, I absolutely think there should be a crest on like you know, you can have the crest at like some like in maybe one of the corners of the flag, maybe in the upper left corner where the flag attaches to the pole. Absolutely, I think that a crest should be on the state flag. Like, I appreciate that they're intricate, but it's not a matter of, oh, I need to see all of the intricate details of the crest. It's the fact that it's there. It's like, take pride in your state. Every state has a crest. I know they're probably gonna, like, I know not every state has a crest on it. I do. I'm fully appreciative. Like, I would like to, like, I think it would be good to have the crest somewhere integrated into the design of the state flag. I 100% appreciate that many states do not have it. And I'm not saying that a state flag without a crest on it is not worthy of being a state flag. Not saying that at all. Like, I know, like, Texas doesn't have it. California doesn't have it. Say that as you will. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with not having a crest on it. Let me put that out there. It's just having the crest somewhere on it, I think is actually, you know what? I'm turning around on myself. You know what? I'm actually turning around on myself and realizing I'm thinking about this all wrong. You know what? I'm wrong. I am what? I'm fully admitting it. I'm wrong about this theory that I have with the state crest. I'm fully admitting I'm wrong on this. It's not necessary. It's not. But I do think that the state flag should be representative of the state. You've got Texas, Lone Star State. You got that. California has the grizzly bear on it. I'm trying to remember. God, like those two flags, I know like off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of some of the other state flags that I've seen before. I'm too fucking blank. But regardless, the state flag. India, torch with stars. There you go. Michigan, 2 deer. There you go. Okay. State of LA. LA is not a state. But the bottom line is your state flag should not be representative of a foreign nation. That's the override thing. Regardless of what you think about any individual state flag and how it looks. The state flag should not be representative of a foreign nation. Over and above everything else. It absolutely should not. It should represent the state, not the foreign nation that has invaded and taken over your state. That's what it boils down to.
so simple that even my mom can use it.
And if I can use it, I know you can use it.
And right now, for you guys watching this video, Opus is going to hook you guys up with a sweet deal. You'll get 1 week
Florida
free
should be a
and 3
Gator
months
believer.
at 50% off. All I have to do
It
is
should be a
go to
gator
the
with a
link
guy
in the
riding on
description
top
of
of
this
it with
video,
a
or
machine
go to
gun
the
and a
pinned
beer.
comment down
That's
below,
this
and
Florida
use code
state flag,
Nick
okay?
Shirley. 1 week free and 3 months at 50% off. And now let's get back into the video. Now we're going to the next daycare center. How much money has this one generated?
This one In fiscal year 2025, $1,042,059. In fiscal year
God.
2024, $1,059,078. And in fiscal year 2023,
Jesus.
$727,336.
This next one is literally
Okay, hang on. Because it looks like they're going to be putting impertinent information in the lower left corner, I'm going to move you guys into the upper right corner because it looks like all the information, like the dollar information, I think they're going to have down here. So I'll move you guys up there for now.
1 block away, and this one's also generated nearly $3 million in the past 3 years. Let's see if there's any children. Let's see if any of the buildings are open. Here we go.
Mike, I'll pull it up later.
All right, we've arrived to ABC Learning Center.
Actually, no. Hang on. Okay. Give me a second. Let me pull up the second window here. All right. This was the old Minnesota state flag. We'll get a good clear picture of it. This is the old Minnesota state flag. This is the new one. Old one, new one. There was absolutely nothing wrong with this. What is it? Why? Why do this? There was absolutely nothing wrong with this flag. This was a perfectly good flag. It represented the state of Minnesota. It's it's basically honoring its agriculture, its Native American heritage. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. And they changed it to this.
Here we go. All right, we've arrived to
There is none,
ABC
Spike. It
Learning
looks like the Somali
Center.
flag. That's it.
All the windows are blacked out. Let's see if anybody is here.
Even the doors. Look at how they've covered up the doors. Hang on, let me see if I can get a better shot of that. I'm not even sure what material that is, but even the front doors, they're trying to keep people from looking inside.
This door is locked.
This facility is licensed for 40 children. 0 children. I've come by this place 100 times. I've never seen a child here, ever. The only thing I've ever seen is someone standing outside smoking.
What's crazy about this is that last daycare.
Wait, the official reason state flag was changed to what it is now is because they wanted to simplify the design for our major soccer league team. Rudy, that is some of the biggest pile of bullshit I have ever heard. That is not even good spin. To say that they wanted to change it to simplify it for their major league soccer team. That is some of the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my life. So they're not even trying to hide it. They're just coming up with the most, they're coming up with the stupidest excuse possible that no one's going to believe anyway.
Center is that green building right there. And what's crazy about this is that last daycare center is that green building right there. And the other daycare center right now is right here. These buildings should be operating as they're receiving literally.
Okay, chat question. How often are you seeing 2 daycare centers literally right next to one another? How often do you see multiple daycare centers right next to one another? No, you don't. It does not happen. You might have multiple daycare centers within, say, a 5 to 8 block radius. Sure. You never right next to one another.
Millions of dollars.
I knocked on the door, and to my surprise, somebody actually answered the door.
Oh.
Hello. Can we speak? Yeah. I would like to check a child in the daycare. Why? Can I speak to a manager?
Wow. Someone goes to a child daycare business and says, I would like to check a child into daycare. And the daycare business's response is, why?
FBI, open up!
It's like, that's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. The fact that that was the response is immediate, like, okay, yeah, the FBI needs to come here.
Where can I get paperwork to file for my son? I wanted to put my son Joey in daycare.
And after a few questions, the lady went silent.
Looks like little Joey Shirley ain't going to daycare here. And now where are we going?
Now
Wow.
we're going to Sweet Angel Childcare.
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025,
I mean, Mike, not even just ICE. Fucking FBI, go in there, make sure that these places are not trafficking children. That, like, I'm gonna keep harping on this. I have a legit concern that these places, the fact that you cannot see into any of them, I have a legit concern that these businesses may be potentially trafficking children, and that is fucking terrifying.
this facility, which has its license for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money.
God.
And there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way, all of them.
Let's see if anyone opens.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I try to find a spot for my son Joey, and they would not open the door.
I want to put my son Joey in daycare. Cause I need a spot
Why?
to put
See, that's everyone. I want to put my child in daycare, and if the response is why, immediately, like that needs to be an investigation. Like, seriously, the federal investigative branch of the government needs to descend on the state of Minnesota. FBI, DHS, ICE, all of them need to fucking descend upon the state of Minnesota and investigate. This needs to be a full-throated investigation, because I'm going to bet that that it's more than just money. I'm going to wager that there's a whole hell of a lot more than just money embezzlement going on here. We're only seeing the start. We're going to be seeing a hell of a lot more come of this once actual investigations get kicked off.
my son Joey.
Yes.
Is this your daycare center?
No,
Oh yeah, Taffy, I don't necessarily have an issue with needing to be buzzed in. We are, as unfortunate as this is, we are in an unfortunate state of time where there is legit concerns about basically someone going to a daycare and shooting it up. As horrifying as that is, it is a reality of going into schools, going into daycares, and actually committing acts of violence in these facilities because these people are fucking crazy. That is a legit concern. So on its face, I do not have any issue with the door to the daycare center being locked and you needing to get buzzed in. I have no issue with that. The issue I have is when they buzz the doorbell and someone says, I'd like to sign up my child for your daycare, and the response is, why? That's not a legit business. If the response to, you're a daycare, I'd like to sign my child up for your daycare, and the response is, why? The code on this, I mean, there's the buildings for sale. This is typically what you would see from realtors when the building is on for sale, but I don't know.
There, what's happened?
I just want to put a child in daycare, but all the daycare centers seem to be closed. No one's opening the doors.
You work here?
I was, yeah. What's happened?
Where are the kids?
Yeah?
It says it's licensed for 74 children. Right here, state of Minnesota. Where are the kids? They got paid $1.26 million in fiscal year 2025.
Here we go.
It says they have a capacity for 74 children.
When?
Where are the kids? Right here. State of Minnesota website. You work here and you don't know?
I don't know. I was there before. I don't know what's going on.
Were there any kids when you worked here?
Kids there. What's
How
up?
many?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
You worked here. Okay, well then you're not of any help.
Can I put my son in a daycare here?
No, I don't know.
Can I speak to someone?
No, I don't know.
No? Yeah, I would like to see if I can put my son Joey here.
Who's your son, Joey?
My son Joey. Can I check out daycare center?
No! You're a liar. I'm the owner.
Do you put your kid here in this daycare?
No.
There is one child in there. Yeah, I'd like to know if this is a legit business.
Me, I'm scared of you too. How come I explain you everything?
You're scared?
And she's scared of him. He's asking, he's literally asked about, I'd like to put my child in daycare. And she's scared of him. No, she's scared that he's exposing all of this. Let's not fuck with it. That's what she's scared of. She's scared that he's exposing the massive levels of fraud and corruption in the state of Minnesota. That's what she's scared of. She's scared that she won't be able to send money back to Somalia to fund terrorism and drug lords.
Scared of me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of your curry.
Yeah. So she's a racist cunt. She just flat out said it. She's racist. I'm going to play that again. This needs to be played again. This needs to be played again.
I explain you everything.
You're scared of me?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of your curry.
Yeah. She's a racist. And how many of the Somali population in Minnesota are of the same thought process? See? Yeah, the next time the SJAs like to try and claim that any person that is white is racist, you can give them this clip where a Somali national literally says she's scared of him only because of his race. Got a newsflash for you. That's racism.
Because of my color. You said you're scared of me because of my color. Does that make you a racist?
Yeah, no.
But
No.
you said you're
yeah,
scared of
yeah.
me because of my color.
I'm not saying you're racist.
You said you're scared of me because of my color. That makes you a racist. So right now,
This is my
they're all
tax
getting
money.
mad because he's showing the
I
paperwork
don't
of
know
this
that.
business being registered as a business.
Uh-huh.
74
I've
children,
lived
no
my
children.
whole life
We
here.
saw one child when the lady opened up the door.
Wow.
So now
where did
they're
this
all
money
getting mad.
go? What was this money spent on? 1.26
Yeah, now they get
million.
pissed.
What was that money spent on?
Now they're getting pissed. See, now that they're getting exposed, now they're getting pissed. And when do you think they're going to start becoming aggressive? I'm just waiting for them to start calling in their men to basically try and start bullying them or even fight them.
There aren't any kids.
Ask the owner and the kids.
Well, then why are you talking for the
not my
owner
proof.
if you're
That's
telling me
not
to
my
talk
proof.
to the owner?
I'm sorry. I'm not understand what you're talking about.
Do you have a child here?
No.
Does anybody?
No.
Where are the 74 kids? Did you lose them? Did you lose these kids? Do I need to call someone? Do I need to issue an Amber Alert for missing children? Are these children missing? It's not my business that children are missing. 74 infants and toddlers, preschool.
The proof's right there. There's no children anywhere.
It's from the state of Minnesota right here.
I think we're moving on to the next location. Have a good day.
As we continue to show the
Yup. They were calling their men in. They were 100% going to be calling their men in to try and chase them down.
blatant fraud that was taking place here in Minnesota, Somalis started following us around the city.
And now we're being followed by the Somalis. This is another daycare center. Absolutely no signage. And there's no footprints in the snow of children playing outside.
Uh-huh.
$5 million within the past
5.9
two.
million in 2 years. 5.9 million they received
Yay.
in 2 years. That facility right there.
Jesus.
And now we have a group of Somalis telling us in our vehicle right now.
From this daycare center, we headed over to the infamous
Here we fucking go. Yeah. Now they're getting followed by people. And would you want to bet that if they called the police and said, hey, we're being followed by people, we are actually in fear for our safety, the police would show up and tell them, oh, they're not doing anything wrong, there's nothing we can do. What do you want to bet that would happen if they actually called the police because they were worried?
telling us in our vehicle right now.
From this daycare center, we headed over to the infamous Quality Learning Center.
And there it is. This is the one that I saw the clip of. Chat, what do you notice about this Quality Learning Child Daycare? Notice anything a little bit odd? Notice anything a little bit odd about the signage for this learning daycare? You know, maybe a little bit of a spelling error. And this I saw on a clip. I saw this on like a YouTube short. This particular one. And yeah, no fucking windows whatsoever, just solid fucking walls. Oh yeah.
Which actually spells Quality Learning Center on the outside of their sign. That's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare.
Don't open up!
So this is Quality Learning.
Wait. Who told them don't open up? Was it that bitch from before? Hang on, I want to slow down to see this. Nope, someone different. Someone different.
So this is Quality Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open up!
They said they spelt learning
Yep,
wrong.
and here comes the what?
How do you have
Yep.
ice here, ma'am?
The fucking white savior. The liberal white woman savior coming in. Big surprise. Nope, Canito, you fucking keep it. We don't want it. You fucking keep Minnesota. We want nothing to do with it. Yeah, and here it is. These are the people that are cheering and championing the invasion of Minnesota. This is the face of it right here. This woman. The old liberal white woman is the one cheering and championing the invasion of her own state.
I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ice!
Ma'am, what do you think about this place being licensed for
Wait, what? What? Did she seriously just try and say they had their ice? Well, no, they aren't ice, but guess what? Ice just did descend upon Minnesota, so foreshadowing. No, they don't think they're ice. No, actually, no, I'm sorry. This dumb bitch does not think that they're ice. She's literally just pontificate, not pontificate. She's gaslight. She is gaslighting and basically because ice is the big boogeyman. No, I don't think so.
A YouTuber.
Let's listen again.
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ice!
Ma'am, what do you...
We have ice. She said ice, not ice. We have ice. Yeah. Okay. She really thinks that they're ice. These guys walk her out the camera crew and a microphone. No, she's basically ice is the because right now ice for people like her is the buzzword. That's the current hot button buzzword to basically denotate what they are viewing as a quote unquote oppressive government. That's why she's saying ice. Is because it's the buzzword. It's like, it's the same thing as the Nazi. It's the same thing as calling a Nazi. Same thing as calling someone a fascist. Same thing as calling someone to Islamophobia. ICE is the new buzzword for these people. That's it. And like, yeah, oh yeah, well Zeb, that's what I mean. That's why she's saying it, is because it's the buzzword to get the illegal immigrants scared to do anything, to open the door. Yeah, you're right.
What do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up!
and getting $4 million over
Don't
the...
open up! It's ice!
And
$4
she's got the
million
mind
the
virus.
last 2 years.
Yeah, she is controlled by the mind virus. She can't think for herself anymore. She is completely drunk the Kool-Aid, and like this guy's asking her a question, and all she's doing is just repeating the same thing over and over again because she no longer thinks for herself. She has been sucked into the SJA mind virus, and now she does not have any thoughts except what they tell her to think.
Yours?
Go away!
What do you think about that? Are you in
Go
favor?
away!
Are you in favor of that?
Go away!
You know where
You're
the-
not welcome here.
Are you-
Shame on you.
Are you in favor of $1.9
Shame
million
on you. It's
going
ice.
illegally,
Don't open up.
fraudulently to this business that has quality learning center but can't even spell learning right on the door?
Don't open up.
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
She's
I
a
don't care
fucking
who you are, you
NPC.
don't-
She's a fucking NPC. And she's thrilled to be one. Yeah, that's what I said. She's an NPC. She's not a real person anymore. She has sacrificed her brain to the DEI SJA mind virus and is now very content in being an NPC.
I don't care who you are. You don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up. It's ice.
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children in here at this building, but there's no one
I've
here.
got to say, in all honesty,
This is a child daycare.
it's the biggest piece of dog that I have ever heard.
Center.
99 children. Paid $1.9 million this year in CCAP funding. Do you know where the children are? Were they kidnapped? They run away? Where are the children? This is state of Minnesota.
Uh-huh.
Right here.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley, ma'am.
And who are you with?
Nick Shirley. Nick Shirley on YouTube.
Yeah, so who are you with here?
Oh, he's just been doing some research investigating the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm with Nick Shirley.
This lady, she's calling us ICE. We're just trying to put law and order back in the streets of the United States. Get rid of all the fraud.
Yep.
Have you ever seen children at that daycare center right there?
Where?
Yeah, it's right there. It says the child, you've never seen daycare.
I haven't seen anybody in here.
We're gonna educate you on something. So what do you think about this daycare center? They spelled learning wrong. They've received over $1.9 million this year alone, and they're supposed to.
And Atanashi, now, I still don't think she legit thought that they were ICE. I think she was just using it because it's been drilled into her head that anybody that asks about the Somalians in the town is ICE. And it's just been drilled into her head to use ICE as basically the buzzword to basically say, oh, there's someone here that is going against the mind virus and is like actually looking to expose the corruption. And so that's just like a trigger word that she has been trained to use. I literally think that's it. I don't think she actually thought that they looked like ICE. I think that she's been trained. She's been brainwashed and been trained to use ICE whenever there's a potential threat to the illegal immigrants that are corrupt and criminals. That's it. I think it's literally that.
Spelled learning wrong. They've received over $1.9 million this year alone, and they're supposed to have 99 children here.
I don't see it.
99 children.
Have you ever seen any children here?
None, not at all. None.
This year they got 1.9 million. Last year they got 1.5 million of your tax money for 99 children. We just want to know, where are the kids?
Right.
Where are the children?
I don't see them. I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like
Never
that here.
seen a child here.
No, not at all.
And so you've
Many
never
years.
seen a child here for 8 years?
Nope, not at all.
And how does that make you feel knowing that this place is receiving
Disgusting.
$1.9 million?
It's disgusting. I mean, what the hell? They stealing the money. That's a federal grant too. That's, if they get caught for that's a federal offense.
Yep.
I know. I studied law.
And do you think Tim Waltz should go to jail for all the fraud that he's enabled here in his state?
That's him doing this? Well, heck yeah. He's got to be held accountable for this. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason what's going on here. It's simple. It's nothing there. It's a parking lot.
And look, they even spelled learning wrong on their sign for a place that's supposed to be educating children.
That's crazy. I mean, who runs it? Who supposedly runs it?
Somalians.
Oh my god. Well, where? Yeah. It's
Yep.
just, I've never seen nobody here at all
So how long have you been living here?
since 2017. 2018.
You've never seen a single child walk in that building.
No, not at all.
So this daycare center is literally just a place to traffic money. $1.9 million just this year alone.
Again, I truly do fear it's trafficking more than money. That is a legit fear that I have.
And this guy's been living here for 8 years and has never seen a single child walk through those doors. There's no windows either.
No.
And the only window they do have, the door, is blacked out.
Yep, I see that. I've never seen anybody go in there.
Within just a few hours, we nearly approached $20 million in fraud, and we headed over to George Floyd's neighborhood to expose more of the fraud taking place.
This place is called Future
they're in
Leaders
St. Floyd's
Early
neighborhood.
Learning Center, and it's licensed for 90 children. And in fiscal year 2025, they received $3.6 million.
God
in fiscal year 2024, they received $3 million. So in 2 years, they got $6.67 million, claiming they have 90 children every day of the week, 5 days.
And just remember, for every person in Minnesota that needs the money, needs federal money because of issues that they've had in their lives, like they legitimately need it. Either they've come on hard times and they need help, or there's legit businesses that want to try and open up and better their community and better their state. They're going to get rejected because the federal government is literally dumping billions and billions of dollars into fraudulent Somalian businesses. The Somalians are literally taking money away from Minnesotans. They are literally, the Somalians are literally stealing money from the people of Minnesota. What's it going to take for the people of Minnesota themselves to finally just go, you know what, we're done, and demand that that the people high up in the government that are responsible for this resign? Antonaci, I would not be surprised if there were scam call centers too. Who knows? Like maybe, who's to say that all of these child daycare centers, the fraudulent ones that don't have any kids in them, who's to say that they're not running scam call centers out of there too? That's a legit possibility that they could actually be running scam call centers out of there. So in addition to stealing money from the state and federal governments for fraudulent childcare, but they also could be running scams out of there and taking in even more money and sending that money back to the terrorists, back in Somalia, back to the warlords, back to the terrorist pirates. I'm telling you, it is more than just running a fraudulent call center. There is more going on here. They're not going to just have these empty fucking buildings and collect money and send it back. They're going to take these buildings, pretend that they're child care centers, take in the money, but they're still going to use those buildings to commit other crimes. Why commit only one crime when you have this empty building that you can be using for another crime, and all the windows are blacked out, no one can see inside, so you can do anything you want and commit even more crimes on top of the crimes you're already committing? I'm fucking telling you, there are multiple layers of criminality happening in all of these child care centers. I'm telling you.
Days a week.
I mean,
So let's
these
find
people
out.
are making just about more money than NBA athletes.
And we don't even know if they're paying taxes, but we don't know where this money is going. Is it going to terrorism? Where is it going?
Oh, it's going to terrorism.
It's theft. It's fraud.
100% it's going to terrorism.
And the reason I'm involved is I want it to stop. I care about Minnesota. I'm doing this for the people of Minnesota. I don't make a dime off all this time I've spent on this. I put my life at risk several times, but I'm determined to see this through and to correct what is.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like, they could be trafficking weapons. That's what I said. They could be trafficking weapons. They could be trafficking children. They could be trafficking drugs. We don't know because you can't see inside of them, and I'll guarantee you they're not getting inspected. I will guarantee they don't get inspected either.
Wrong, what is evil?
Here at Future Leaders Early Learning Center, this building received over $3 million. Hello, how are you? I would like to see if I could bring my son little Joey here. Is there paperwork or can I check out the daycare? No? Why can't I check out the daycare?
It's not here.
Okay, but if I can't get paperwork or anything to submit my son little Joey to come in here to daycare? We'd really like to put Joey in this daycare. We've heard great things.
Business card?
No, I would like your business card actually.
Talk to your manager.
Okay, can I speak with somebody? Where are the children at? Are there children here today?
No.
No children.
Yes.
Why are there no children?
Two of Mexico.
Would my son, little Joey, have friends to play with here?
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Seriously. This one, oh. Yeah. Yeah. She's desperately trying to get rid of him. Yeah. She is desperately trying to get rid of him. No, man just not here. Oh, no, your friends wouldn't have here, so there's no point you even wanting to, trying to pretend like you're gonna, put your kid in here. Cause I can tell you he won't have friends. It's so fucking blatantly obvious it's sick.
No friends for little Joey.
Yes.
Well, okay, Revan, to your point, you think that these people have better cover stories? No, because they don't need them. They don't need better cover stories because they have support of the state government. They probably have support of the police too. Why would they need better cover stories when they have the backing of the state government? They don't need to bother with a decent cover story. What's an average person gonna do? Complain to the very government that's backing them and complicit in the fraud? They don't need to cook up anything better because there's no threat of them being exposed and shut down because the state is the one running it. The state is the one that's funding them. The people that would shut them down are the ones backing them up. So why should they give a fuck about coming up with a decent cover story?
No.
Yes.
No friends for little Joey.
Yes. Sorry.
Dang it. Well, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
So, little Joey would not be accepted to that daycare.
Joey's still homeless.
Joey's still looking for daycare.
Revan, they don't care. They don't care. Because you're talking about you're talking about a state that by and large the populace seems to endorse this. They cheer for it. Look at the one woman that came up and was screaming ICE because these guys were there checking the place out. They're not worried about election backlash because because the majority of their populace are fucking brainwashed as is. There's not enough people in the state that actually use their brains and actually think, this is wrong, this is illegal, we are getting fucked in the ass by our own government in order for Somalia to invade our country and fund terrorism. They've drunk the Kool-Aid, so they don't care. The Minnesota government at this point, it's just like, we can literally do whatever we want because these fucking morons will do whatever we tell them to do. They'll swallow whatever line we give them. So why should we care? They're still going to vote for us because they're fucking stupid and brainwashed. So we don't need to worry about covering it up because we can just feed them like whatever bullshit we want because they have the mental equivalent of a 5-year-old and they'll put our name on the ballot and vote for us. That's literally what it is. They don't care because they don't have to care because they are basically ruling over a bunch of morons.
And because little Joey couldn't get into a daycare, we went to an autism center, as they have been popping up everywhere as a rise of autism has occurred here in Minnesota. Because of the government funds that they're receiving, I tried to check my son Joey into an autism center.
We've been going to a lot of these daycare centers. We're trying to find a spot for our little boy Joey, but we thought maybe we could check him in the autism center. Because none of the daycare centers are open. Yeah, and how many kids do you guys have at this autism center?
I can't give you a number now.
Like more than 5?
Okay, I've got to control myself. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying very fucking hard not to go off right now because I know if I don't keep my cool here, I am going to say something that's going to get me in trouble. I knew this was happening. Seeing it, like, this hits me on a visceral level, and you know that. No, scary guy, no, I can't let it out. No. Because if I let it out, if I lose my cool, I will say something that will get me into serious trouble. But you guys know how closely autism hits me. The fact that they are doing this in regards to autism disgusts me on a primal level. This is absolutely filth that they would do this in regards that they would use autism for this. Every one of them should be in fucking prison. Every one of them. They should lose everything and they should spend the rest of their lives in prison. They are literally using autism to defraud millions of people. It's fucking sick, and I wish all of them to spend the rest of their lives in prison. And that's all I'm gonna say right now. I'm going to restrain myself on saying what I actually like to do, because no. Simple as that, no. You guys know how I feel on this particular subject. So you guys know how I feel.
Probably, so you don't really know?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about like the fraud that's been labeled on the autism centers here? What do you guys do think about the fraud, or how come the autism centers are popping up?
I can't answer.
What news? Are you a news reporter?
My name's Nick. We're doing a little documentary trying to find little Joey a spot to put himself in one of these centers here, because there's
So why are you asking us about
the fraud?
frauds and stuff like that?
Yeah, because we want to make sure we're going to legit business if we're going to bring our little boy Joey here.
This is not a Joey spot. Yeah. But that's our number on the other call. But this is we can't let you.
Yeah, this is not a Joey spot. Uh-huh. Yeah, go fucking hide. Go fucking hide and go defraud the state of millions more dollars.
Okay, thank you. So once again, little Joey, he can't even go to daycare, and now they won't even accept him if he has autism.
And again, no kids. Couldn't tell you how many kids they.
And let me tell you something. What infuriates me so much about the fact that they're using autism like this, unless you have or know a young autistic child, you don't realize how incredibly difficult it is to find somewhere that an autistic child can feel comfortable and receive proper care and even learning when the parents have to continue to work. Like, for children that are autistic, particularly moderately to severely autistic, they need constant care. This is not like with neurotypical children where, once they reach the age of like 8 or 9, roughly speaking, every child is different in this respect. Like when a child turns like 8 or 9 or 10, the child, largely speaking, can do a pretty good job of caring for his or herself. They can take care of their toilet needs by themselves. Some of them can even like take care of feeding themselves reasonably well, even to the degree of like throwing something in the microwave to heat them up. The neurotypical child at that age can, take care of themselves pretty well. This is not the case with an autistic child, especially moderately to severely autistic. Moderately to severely autistic children at the age of 8 or 9, generally speaking, have the mentality and capability of a 3 or 4-year-old. And will require care for everything. Like literally everything. And as a parent, you can't just simply not work under the auspice of, I have an autistic child that I need to care for. To a degree you can, but it only goes so far. And parents of severely autistic children need somewhere that they can bring their children to be cared for while they work to make money to pay their bills. And an autistic care center is very specialized and are incredibly difficult to come by. Not to mention there's so few of them. It is so fucking hard to get for a parent with an autistic child to get that child into the care center because they're usually full. And the fact that these pieces of shit are using autism for fraud and like basically doing it as a tease to the parents where, we're getting the money that's supposed to go to actual care centers that are going to care for children like yours, but we're not going to. We're just going to steal the money and send it off to terrorists when legitimate care centers for autistic children could be put into place is goddamn fucking infuriating. It is angering on a visceral fucking level. Because this money that they are stealing, these disgusting excuses for not even human beings, could have actually gone to actual care centers for autistic children to get the care that they need while the parents try and just earn a living to feed them. It's angering. This angers me more than the rest of it. And it's because autism is so close to me. This is truly fucking angering.
Serve.
After being able to provide no evidence of them actually being an autism center and a place where a child could go, they shut the door and we headed to the next fraudulent daycare center that was just around the corner.
We're on to the next location. We're still trying to find little Joey a place to go to get some daycare.
So where we're going now is a place called Super Kids Daycare Center. Interestingly, this daycare center was shut down when it was called Creative Minds Daycare, and it had received $2.45 million this fiscal year, 2025. They had to shut down because there were so many violations, and they went and they just reopened under a new license, and they renamed the center Super Kids Daycare Center, LLC.
So they got shut down, then started another one.
Literally the next day.
And what are the odds that someone from the state government actually told them, all right, well, we've got to, there's just too many violations for us to ignore on the paperwork. So what do you want to bet that the state government coached them and said, you know what, you guys shut down for a few months. No, not that they paid off the inspector. That the state licensing boards or the state grant boards probably said, go ahead and shut down for like a month and then rebrand yourself and reopen, and we'll just start the money back up again because you're a different company. Yeah, it's not. That's if they were actually doing it legally and not fraudulently. Again, the state is 100% complicit in this. You said the next day, did he? Hang on.
Just reopened under a new license, and they any violations, and they went and they just reopened under a new license, and they renamed the center Super Kids Daycare Center, LLC.
So they got shut down, then started another one.
Literally the next day.
That's coached. That's coaching. That's literally the state that's someone from the inspector's office, that's someone from the government that literally told them, you need to shut down because there's just too many violations with the paper, and we can't really hide the paperwork. So you shut down, change the name, and open up the next day under a different name, and we'll just push the paperwork through. That's governmental fraud right fucking there, guaranteed. That is someone from the state government that coached them through it and told them this is what you gotta do, and we'll push the paperwork through. Don't you worry about it. This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting.
Creative Minds Daycare, $2.45 million got sent to this daycare center.
Like, the state needs to be, like,
empty parking
flooded
lot.
with
We do have a
federal
bus
agents
here.
right
This
now.
is different. We'll see if we see anybody.
I knocked on the door. Absolutely nobody was inside, and once again, no children could be heard anywhere.
Yeah, and notice, look at this office. For an office for a daycare center, that is surprisingly sparse of anything. Couple papers tacked up on the wall, couple papers here on the desk. Like, this, for an office in a daycare, if you've ever been to a daycare, it's full. Daycare center offices are full of books, of papers, of equipment. They are full the fuck up. This is empty.
Could be heard anywhere.
So David, once again, another child daycare center. We have a bus out here. No one's inside. Licensed for over 50 kids. No children anywhere. But yet, millions of dollars every single year.
So the sign says Creative Minds Daycare.
Supposedly the FBI is
They
going
got
to
in so
Crimson,
much
but I'll
trouble.
believe
They
it
had
when
so
I
many
see it.
violations that they had to shut down, and they reopened the next day under Super Kids Daycare Center. You see 3801 Portland, 3801 Portland, which is where we are.
So that's fraud right there alone.
Millions and millions of dollars, and again, the kids are missing. Where are the kids?
You would think if they had the same address, that whoever's inside or working at the Capitol here inside of Minnesota would just say, oh, maybe that's a red flag.
Because they're in on it.
They just write the check. Human service.
They're in on it. They need to get in forensic accountants and do the books of every government official in the state of Minnesota. They need to descend upon the capital of Minnesota and go through everything, because I guarantee you, there are kickbacks and fraud payments running rampant through there. I will guarantee it. And Captain Rudy, no, the street name is Portland. Not that they're not in the city of Portland. I think they said it was a street name. I think.
Services, they got to clean out the whole bunch. They're the ones who enabled this fraud. How can you not look and say, wait a minute, these two are registered at the same address?
On top of all of the child care centers, that's just only a small piece of the fraud. What other fraud are they committing here in Minnesota?
So another major piece of the fraud is the home health care industry. Where we're going now is a building that has 14 Somali-owned home health care companies in the same building.
14 of the same healthcare companies in one building.
14 home health care companies with different names in the same building.
How bad has Tim Walz managed the budget here inside of Minnesota?
So the last biennium, we had an $18 billion surplus. This biennium, we have a $6 billion deficit. That's a $24 billion swing in one biennium. How in the world can you burn through $24 billion in 2 years? This is how, right here. This is a huge part of it.
And so would you say a lot of that is fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I would say
it's all fraud.
Better than 90% of it is absolute outright fraud.
And a large percentage of this fraud is from these healthcare companies that are charging the state millions of dollars while they actually aren't providing anything. In fact, the FBI just did a raid a few days ago on a building similar to the one we are about to enter. Inside of this building, there were 14 of nearly the exact same businesses offering the exact same services.
Right here, you have a list of all of the healthcare companies. Loads of them right here.
Good
we want healthcare.
God.
Yes, we'd like to speak about getting healthcare here. No. Why can't I get healthcare here?
No, wait.
Warning, you are under video surveillance. No trespassing, security, armed. This is the strangest place I've ever been to get healthcare. Just a bunch of different places. Healthcare here, healthcare right here. Another healthcare company right here. There are 3 healthcare companies inside of this building right here in this room of 7.
Good God!
Now we have another Helping Hands, Home Care LLC, another healthcare company. Present Help right here. We're looking for the best rates of healthcare here inside this building because we have so many options. Who can we talk about getting the best healthcare?
I don't know.
No?
Sorry.
All right. We will not get any healthcare here. David, this is one of the stranger
Oh
places
my
I've
God.
ever been. Literally, healthcare every door you go to, yet nobody will give you a rate. How much money do you think's been funneled through?
Yeah, because of the wrong skin color. Yeah, that's it. The one woman like spilled the spaghetti out of her pocket and gave away the game. It's because they're white. Flat the fuck. They don't even hide their racism. It's you got two white guys. Omega, those two guys following are their security. I know what you're looking at. These two guys back here. This is their security. That's who these two guys back here are that you saw following them. That's their security people. Don't worry. That's not like bad guys following around. Yeah, that's who they are.
Literally, healthcare every door you go to, yet nobody will give you a rate. How much money do you think's been funneled through this building?
Every year, I would say 50 to 60 million at least.
And finally, we were
Jesus.
accepted into one of the daycare centers, and they actually took down our information to give us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
We received a complaint that gentlemen matching your description were in this building harassing the individuals who stay here.
Oh, we're checking out the rates for healthcare. Because there's 14 healthcare companies inside this building, so.
Okay.
Well, that's not what he said. He said there's 14 companies here, and he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers that everyone here is fraudulent.
Okay. So we're.
Oh, interesting. He never said that. Yeah, so they're desperately trying to paint him as racist. And because it's the police in Minnesota, they know that they can sway them and go, oh, they're racist, arrest them. Evening?
And he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers that everyone here is fraudulent.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it works in Minnesota.
No, we're just
You guys
checking.
know, this is a area that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance. Is there any other reason that you guys are here?
Well, we were checking rates.
No, he's not.
We were checking rates. We asked for rates.
No, you're not.
Okay. I'm gonna have, if you guys are all good, we're gonna step outside and we can continue this conversation.
All right, let's leave. So.
No. Yeah. So, cop does not bother going. Cop just listens to this person who just called and said, oh, they're harassing. Just complaint, no proof. And the cop instantly believes her and says, oh, yeah, you have to leave. She has to show zero proof. And the cop's like, okay, yeah, you're instantly guilty. When they actually have video evidence of them actually going and saying, we were requesting rates. Yeah, it's being done as a part of like an investigation themselves. He's instantly just like, okay, you gotta get out. Because one girl comes up and says, oh, because they're Somali, because this area is Somali, they are clearly racist. When they've exhibited absolutely no racism whatsoever. They're only talking finances. They have not said anything or even indicated anything racist whatsoever. But because she comes up and screams racism, colloquially speaking, the cops immediately are on her side and like, okay, white guy bad, you must be racist.
Oh, all right, we're getting escorted out right now. The police have arrived. We were checking out the rates, seeing what was happening inside this building. No one would really speak with us. We did go inside the one daycare center, and she actually did give us rates for childcare. Much respect to that lady. What's the problem, officer?
Well, so again, we've been getting reports from now multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis Police Department is allowed to enforce trespass.
Yeah, a quick question, officer. Which business owner approached you and said, these people harass me, I want you to leave? That wasn't a business owner that said that they were harassing. He said multiple? I don't know.
We're getting reports from now multiple individuals that you guys were harassing individuals.
Uh-huh. Reports from multiple individuals. Number one, I'm sorry, I don't believe him. I'm sorry. I don't believe him that it came from multiple. I don't. Given what we're seeing, I think it's that one woman, and because she screamed racism, he's just folding. And that's what it is. Because that one woman said, oh, they're trying to stick it to Somalians, that's basically screaming racism, and I think he just folded. I'm not prepared to say crooked. I'm not prepared to say crooked because crooked cop would indicate that he's on the take. And I don't believe that. I am nowhere even close to being prepared to say that he's crooked. I think that he is basically, he folds to societal pressure. That because someone screams racism, if he does not immediately go, okay, then they're the bad guy, then the same woman is going to start screaming racism all over the place and make his life hell with his boss because, again, this is Minnesota, and if you scream racism, if you do not immediately bow the knee and kiss the ring, you will basically be ostracized, and he could potentially lose his job simply by being accused of being racist. And I think that is more what this is all about.
Who work here. At the end of the day, this is private property, and it's one that people are allowed to ask you to leave, and it's also one the Minneapolis
They
Police
cross-train,
Department is
Ryman.
allowed to
It's not. Police often do. Police officers and many agencies often cross-train their police officers with paramedicine. That is very common.
Passing ordinance at this address.
Yeah.
So
as we got escorted out of this building, the Somalis filmed us as we left, and we headed over to the next building that had 20.
Hello. Why is that not harassment? Why is this not harassment? That the police escorting them and they're sitting here filming, like literally they just walked around saying, hey, they had a camera and they were asking what are the rates. That's being deemed as harassment, but this is fine. No, that's my ever-loving point. It's not. But that's my point. These guys got accused of harassment when they were filming and asking about rates, and they were accused of harassment. And it's splitting hairs. It's splitting hairs. Saying like, oh, they're on public property now, not private. I'm sorry, we're still splitting hairs on this one.
Building that had 22 of the same home health care providers operating from inside of the building.
Right here you have multicultural home care. And right here it says it's open, but can't even get in. Another Reliance Recovery Center. Mercy and Grace Care, Inc. Right here you have Den Eritrean Youth Development Association of Minnesota. Another child care center. Welcome to Bright Beginning Center.
But what do you guys think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Sorry. No comments. Can I please?
Right here you have Serenity Quality Care. All of these businesses are literally the same type of business, providing the same service in the same building. Another Convenience Home Health Care, Aid, Inc., and Child Friendly Space. All these companies get money from the government. Why would you have the same company essentially inside of the?
And yeah, you guys are talking about, yeah, it is the law. It is. Yeah, I know it's the law. I know it is. It's just, again, you guys know what I'm saying. You guys understand what I'm talking about. It's not a matter of like in that situation. It's not so much a matter of like legal and illegal, et cetera, et cetera. It's the fact that they're just like instantly whipping out their phones and videotaping the white guy getting escorted off the property by the police by literally just asking some questions. It's racist. It's basically racist. Because if the police officer was escorting Somalians off the property, they wouldn't have done anything. But because they're escorting white people off, oh, break out the phones. You got to record the white people getting busted by the cops.
From the government, why would you have the same company essentially inside of the same building, door to door? Right here, Queenly Home Health Care. It just does not make sense. If you were trying to operate a business, you'd want to have less competition. But here, they have all of their competition right next door.
We're wondering, because we hear there's lots of fraud taking place here in Minnesota, and we're wondering, why is there so many of the same companies inside of this same building?
No, I don't know that.
What do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
I don't have any idea about that fraud, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
What do you think about the news articles and what's being spread on the news about the fraud?
Right now, you are doing something wrong.
I'm just asking you.
No,
Really?
you don't have to ask me, okay? Don't ask me that question again. Okay?
Okay. Who can I speak to? Who can I speak to?
Hello? What do you think about the fraud? You can't ask me that question. Uh-huh. See, if he was a legit business person, here's the thing. If any of these companies were legit, their response would be, I'm sorry, I don't know about the, I can't speak in regards to the businesses that may be fraudulent. We are a legit business, and I can't speak. I'm afraid I can't speak to it because I don't have the information on it. Not, you can't ask me these questions. It's what they're saying that is indicating they're fraudulent, because a legit business, if someone asked the question, like, what do you think about all the fraud that's happening here? A legit business would say, well, it's horrible. It would say something to the effect of, the other businesses that are fraudulent and are taking money fraudulently from the government is horrible. It makes us look bad as legit businesses. It makes us look bad because we are operating a legit business to provide health care, and they are making us look bad, and we hate it, dislike it, whatever. You would not say, you can't ask me these questions if you are not a fraudulent business. Point blank. It would literally be as easy as that. If they were a legit business, they would say, we hate it because it makes legit businesses like ours look bad.
Okay, as soon as you confront them about the fraud, they get angry. When these people have these home healthcare companies, you're seeing them everywhere inside this building. What kind of fraud are they committing?
So there's false documentation being submitted to the state of Minnesota for services never provided. They're having forms signed in advance for services that were then never rendered. As far as a year or 2 years in advance, they'll have someone sign these forms at one sitting, and then they just file those with the state of Minnesota, and nobody from the state of Minnesota bothers to check that those services were ever provided.
So they're essentially just using people saying that they had these services provided months or even years ago, then filing the paperwork and then receiving money from the government.
Right, and the Somali community is a very closed community, so everybody's in on it, and they don't want to talk, as you can see.
And for this building, I'm going to give an estimate of around $30 million for how much fraud is taking place. That is a very low estimate. However, still a lot of money in fraud.
And do you think there is fraud taking place here?
I don't know. Yeah.
Do you have any idea what any of these businesses are doing?
I never ask.
And now, with upwards of $100 million in fraud, we headed to one more daycare. And this one gets a little spicy as we get chased out at the very end. And after this, we'll be heading to the state capitol to confront the incompetent government leaders who have enabled this fraud to happen.
And I knew this video was going to be super dangerous to film because of obviously how hostile it is, and as we are exposing legit fraud happening. I did get security for this video, and I was able to do it through the Black Line Guardian. And if you guys want to help fund my security in the future, you can go down to the link down below. They're not paying me to say any of this. They came and decided to help me out for this video. So
this guy might be the next Tyler Oliveira, honestly.
And those funds will directly go
given how big this video has gotten, he might be the next Tyler Oliveira if he keeps doing this.
Especially with this fraud. Like I said, they're not sponsoring this video. I'm just giving them a shout out because of how they helped me. So go down to the link down below, click Guardian for Nick, and let's keep going. And now we're going to the next location.
Now, this child daycare center, this one's different than all the other ones we've been to. Tell us about this one.
This one is different because, according to the state of Minnesota, this 312 West Lake Street houses not one, not two, but 3 child care centers and is licensed to hold 102 children. And in fiscal year 2025 was paid $2.66 million by the state of Minnesota.
And this is the building right here.
So this building alone made $2.6 million. Let's see if anybody's inside. Now we're inside of the building where there's apparently 4 child care centers.
We met this lady and we followed her to the back of the building where the daycare was supposedly at.
So right here we have 2 child daycare centers. We have the Minnesota Child Care Center, and then we also have Nuna. Between the two, $2.66 million. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Why are you recording?
Yes. We would like to know.
Well, it says we're trying to figure out 102 children. Is that for this facility?
What is the name?
It's from the state of Minnesota website. It says you have 102 children here in your child care.
Which child care name is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
Where the children are?
Yeah, where are the children? It
Yeah,
says you have
where are the
102
children?
children here. And you got $2.66 million this year in funding. And $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which department? That is harassment.
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look at this daycare center right here. No children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million. We were just curious, where are the children at? Do you know where the children are at? Where are the children at in these daycare centers?
And by the way, people that are trying to discredit Nick here, like people like Hassan, are basically trying to smear him saying, why are you so desperate to film children? That has been, I think, one of the overriding, like, SJA lines in a desperate effort to discredit his reporting on this. Is they keep going like, why is he so desperate to film children? That's kind of sick, you know. Why are you trying to film children? That's the desperation that they're at. They're trying to insinuate that he's a PDF. When he's asking about child daycares and going, you are a child daycare, you're rated to have 100 children in your facility. Where are these 100 children that you are getting paid, that you are getting subsidized for the government for? And they're trying to turn it around, because they always do this, that he is a PDF.
I don't care.
How can these child care centers have no children?
I don't know. No.
There's $2.6 million inside these businesses that were given by the government, but there's no children to be seen anywhere. People deserve to know where their taxes are going. If these companies and these daycare centers are making upwards of $2.6 million and there's no children to be seen anywhere, something fraudulent is happening. And that is not make you racist, Islamophobic. This is just the truth of what's happening here in Minnesota. If there's a bunch of white people doing the same thing, we'd be talking about the same issue. This is just fraud at unprecedented levels here inside of Minnesota. It's actually very concerning. Where are the children at inside of these buildings? They're nowhere to be seen. Millions of dollars are being sent into these daycare centers all across Minnesota, and there's not a child to be seen anywhere. Here's another daycare center inside this same building.
We don't want you to be videotaping anything.
Where is all the money going for if there's no children at these daycare centers?
Sir,
Yes.
I told you, please leave.
Yes, we have a question though. Where is the children at these daycare centers if there's millions of dollars?
Ask the local government, yeah.
Oh, we've asked. We have the paper here. So we're wondering where the money and where the children are at. We have the paper right here. Come here.
Who are you, first of all?
My name's Nick Shirley.
You don't have any permission to record me, period.
Can we talk outside?
You don't have permission to record.
She doesn't either have. She doesn't have permission to record me.
You cannot stop people on the street.
There, boom. That's what I'm talking about. These people, like, you don't have permission to record me. There's a woman standing right behind him with her phone recording them. It's good for the fucking goose. Because I guarantee you, if Nick says, stop recording me, if Nick was to shut his camera down with this guy saying, I don't want to be recorded, and Nick shows his camera down, and he tells her, stop recording me, she wouldn't do it.
She doesn't have permission to record me.
You cannot stop people on the street and question them.
We can ask.
You don't have any permission.
Where are the children?
I will sue you. You don't have any permission. We have nothing to do with this. You understand?
Then are there children?
So leave. Please leave.
Are there children here?
Please leave.
Where are the children? $2.6 million for a daycare center.
You ask whoever you think is doing that. You don't know what you're talking about. So leave.
Tell us what's.
He's literally looking at the numbers for their facility. You literally are the people that are doing it. So he's asking you, dumbass.
happening here then?
I said leave.
We're wondering what's happening.
We are not a child care. We are.
Oh yeah, Colonel. Yeah. He's like, you must turn your camera off. You can't record me. And then immediately whips out his phone and starts recording them.
Nothing to do with it. We're common people walking. And
yes.
You are.
We're not accusing you. We're asking where the children are at.
Don't ask me anything.
We're not accusing you. We're asking the daycare centers.
I am not going to answer. You have.
Where are the children at?
Leave. Leave.
We just want to know where are the children.
Who you work for?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Who do you work for?
I work for myself, Nick Shirley.
Okay, what are you recording?
We're wondering where are the children? $2.66 million for
You're not talking
the
to
Minnesota
the right
Child Care Center.
You're not talking to the right person.
Are there children that come here? Answer the question. Are there children? There's no children inside this building.
I don't know who you're talking to. Leave.
That's just a simple question. Where are the children at? David, they won't even answer. We asked him. Plain and simple. Where are the children?
Because there are
children
none.
Come here?
This is why I've had my life. I've been attacked twice. Once with a knife, and the other time I was jumped last Saturday by 3 Somali men simply for asking questions.
Yeah, and prison. Every one of them should go to prison. If asking a question results in you getting attacked, prison. Fucking prison. It's literally that simple. Because I will bet you if he called the, I have no idea if this man called the police, but if he got jumped for asking questions and probably called the police, my guess, just pure guess, is that the police probably said, well, you probably were asking something you shouldn't have, and they got offended, so go away. That's my guess, if he even called the police. He may not have, because he may not have said, like, why am I even going to bother? They're not going to do anything. But, yeah. If you're going to get attacked for asking questions, number one, it means you're on the right track. And number two, those people should be in jail.
About what was going on. And they're very, very violent people. They do not like this fraud to be exposed.
After giving this man plenty of opportunities to answer the simple question, where are the children, he called the cops on us and we headed to the state capitol where they're having a meeting about the fraud to confront the state representatives and people in the government who have enabled and let this fraud happen. Inside of this committee, a Republican representative showed charts showing exactly how this fraud has been committed and who is profiting and connecting all the dots. And while the Democrat representatives looked into the abyss, one of them spoke about how none of this is building trust and how this is a nonpartisan issue, so I went and confronted her after that.
Wait. None of this is building trust. So this person cares more about quote-unquote building trust with the people, the very people that are, evidentiarily speaking, potentially defrauding the state of hundreds of millions of dollars, and she is more worried about building trust.
FBI, open up!
Somebody needs to forensically examine her finances. We need a forensic accountant to be examining her finances. How much is she getting kickbacked? How much in kickbacks is she receiving?
He has some very valid questions to ask about what's going on here in Minnesota. And do you think this fraud
Sir, I don't know who
crosses?
you are.
My name's Nick Shirley. Do you think this fraud is Republican or Democrat, or just facts that fraud is happening?
And she's running.
Well, because that's what I heard you talking about.
I know what I said is that what we're talking about is...
we want to build trust, but fraud is fraud, so why should we be enabling fraud to happen here?
No, I don't think anybody is enabling fraud to happen.
Hold Governor Walz accountable for this.
Okay, sir.
No. This
sir,
is not.
Sir.
When are you going to hold Governor Walz? No. She is a representative for the state of Minnesota. Yes or no?
Excuse me.
Yes. Are you?
If you're going to talk to me like
are
that.
Are you the state? I'm a disability advocate.
I heard you, and you got a chance to testify.
Thank you for testifying today.
No.
Ma'am, the facts are the facts that fraud is happening here, and it's not a nonpartisan issue.
Oh my God. Yeah, she's literally, why are you running? Why are you running? Where are you going? Literally, yeah, she is doing the fucking meme.
How come you think fraud has been able to happen so much underneath?
I think
the
if you've
government
been
here.
listening to our hearings, we've had now 10 hearings on this. And so there's really good data from the people who both work within the administration as well as who, both Democrat and Republicans. I think
Yes.
what you heard today is that the Republicans who control this committee are not actually interested in solving fraud. What they're interested in is telling a story.
This fraud has happened underneath Democrat leader Tim Walz.
There has been Medicaid fraud across the country under Democrats and Republicans.
Medicaid fraud. Oh my God. Like, this is not just fucking Medicaid fraud. Bear in mind, I'm pretty sure he did this report after the $9 billion in fraud by Somalians hit the airwaves. Okay, this is not Medicaid fraud. This is COVID fraud. This is autism. This is autism finances fraud. And she immediately defaulted to, well, there's Medicaid fraud all over the country, and completely ignored the $9 billion in fraud that has already been happening in Minnesota. And she desperately wants to get out of there. How much is she getting in kickbacks? How much is going to be revealed when they examine her finances?
There's fraud within the Trump administration. We
Oh,
have
of course.
fraud. Private providers have made government a mark. And so every person running government, Democrats or Republicans, are dealing with the issue of how to keep fraudsters out of our public payment. We're also dealing with veterans. We're dealing with consumers. I hope you're looking at that. If you look at United Health, currently is being charged with defrauding Medicare. You know who runs Medicare? President Trump. Medicaid fraud is...
And of course, she's going to default to that. Like, you guys know, I have no lost love when it comes to Trump. Okay? I think as a person, I think Trump is an asshole and is a raging narcissistic sociopath as an individual. Politically speaking, I'm kind of like, whatever. Like, there's some things that are good, there's some things that are bad. As a person, I think he's a horrible person. As a president, there's good and bad. There's good and bad. But of course, she's immediately defaulting to, why don't you look at Trump? Why don't you look at Trump? We hate Trump because I'm a Democrat, so of course I have to hate Trump, and so why aren't you looking at Trump? And completely ignoring the issue at hand. Completely ignoring, okay, Needler, no, we're going to leave that be. But we're completely ignoring the fact that that he is talking about massive billion-dollar levels of fraud with the state of Minnesota. And she's immediately defaulting to, well, why don't you go look at the federal level of Trump? Somebody check her records. Somebody check her bank accounts.
It's a 50-state issue.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again,
yeah, and he's worried about one state right now.
There are Democrats and Republicans who are sitting in that committee talking about it. But what you did here was the Republican chair say she's not turning information over to the one person in government who can stop payment. And I hope you print that.
Thank you for coming today.
Okay.
Crazy.
Well,
print what?
You saw what happened there?
The state of Minnesota that we live in, and these politicians are just walking off, thinking it's okay Tuesday, and they want to go visit the Trump. They want to blame the Trump administration. We have Democrats blaming ICE. I'm tired. Yeah. My people are suffering. I'm scared for my little brother. My people are suffering, and these people just walk off. We have a governor who fucking doesn't care.
Nope, he cares about filling his bank account.
How many more people are gonna freaking die? How many more people are gonna go homeless?
Yeah, there. That, right fucking there. That $9 billion that has been defrauded from the state of Minnesota could have done something like helping homeless people. $9 billion can go a long fucking way to helping people with mental health issues that need care, to help homeless people either have a place that they can get out of the cold, get food, get job training so they can get jobs and work. $9 billion. That is 100% fraud. that could have been used to actually help the people of Minnesota. Yeah, you can hear the pain in his voice because you can hear the pain that his government doesn't fucking care. And they don't. They don't care.
And how many more people are going to be trafficked in our freaking system?
Yes. Yeah, one day. God. That's in one day, without access to the kinds of records that government officials would have, they found over $100 million in fraud. Just some guy that's been investigating it all on his own and a YouTuber found over $100 million in fraud. This is why people go to YouTubers for their news, because people like this will actually dig into it and actually showcase what's going on. Because you notice his entire reporting did not have a political slant, did not have a racial slant, nothing. It was all, there's fraud. What do you have to say about the fraud? There's supposed to be children here. You're getting millions of dollars for childcare. You are not taking care of any children. What's going on with that? And people are going to desperately try and paint him as a racist. They're going to desperately try and paint him as anti-immigrant. You have people that are desperately trying to paint him as a PDF. And no one's buying it. Yeah. He did not blame any specific ethnicity. He did not blame any specific gender. He basically said, this business is supposed to be daycare. There's supposed to be kids here. You're getting millions of dollars, and there's no kids. No, he mentioned that being Somali a couple of times, but he wasn't like hammering it in as an overriding factor. He was just pointing out a couple times that it was that they were Somalian businesses, but by and large, he didn't say anything about it being Somali. He just said, this is fraud. There's supposed to be kids here. There are no kids here, and they're getting millions. Yeah, they did put like owner names on screen, and that's basically it when it comes to indicating that they were quote unquote Somalians. This needs to go federal. This absolutely needs to go federal. Supposedly the FBI is looking and investigating. This needs to be investigated by the FBI, and we need to actually get forensic accounting into the state books. Because again, there's money fraud here, and I am pretty darn sure that there's other stuff going on here. Be it some kind of trafficking, weapons, drugs, people, other kind of fraud happening, like there's fraud happening inside these fraudulent daycare centers, like they're working a scam or something to commit even more frauds. There is we are looking at the tip of the iceberg. If the federal law enforcement can actually start facilitating investigations, I think this is going to massively explode in terms of what is being uncovered. This is only the start. This is just the start. There is more coming. I will bet you anything.